arms around me. I give a fever that's so hard to bear. You give me fever.
On the plus side, at least we didn't lose Doug. While we originally wanted to take an actual European vacation from Switzerland to Germany, we decided to spare our producer's pocketbook and reimagine the trip entirely within the southeast, traveling from Little Switzerland, North Carolina to the Bavarian-inspired town of Helene, Georgia for Octoberfest.
That's right. And for a journey ending at Octoberfest, we decided we needed German cars, specifically small, sporty SUVs. We met up at the Switzerland Cafe in Little Switzerland, North Carolina, a beautiful little hamlet, known as the Jewel of the Blue Ridge Parkway. This enchanting town, founded in 1910, was named for its resemblance to the foothills of the Swiss Alps, and would be the start of our journey. We discussed our vehicles that we'd chosen for the trip. I selected the Audi SQ5 because I felt it best embodied the typical Germanic traits of luxury and performance. But Greg, well, he was a bit more predictable.
It wouldn't be a proper driver's line episode without a Porsche. I made the right choice, the Porsche Macan S, essentially a somewhat porky lifted hot hatchback, but with suspension tuning by the experts, I knew it would eat up the alpine roads between Little Switzerland and Helene. We know that Porsche makes some of the best sports cars in the world, and they've infused that DNA into their SUVs.
We realized that we essentially chose the same car with different execution. Both share a platform and use a turbocharged 3-liter V6. So it'll be interesting to see how chassis tuning, design, and specifications set them apart. To determine this, we set forth 3 challenges to see who brought the better Bavarian: sport, utility, and vehicle.
With those challenges in mind, we headed out of town with Jordan leading the way and using the glorious mountain roads in between Little Switzerland and our next stop in Asheville as our measure of sport.
I am in the Audi SQ5. This one runs on an updated MLB Evo platform shared with multitude of Volkswagen Group vehicles all the way up to Lamborghinis. Alright, powering it is a 3-liter turbo V6, not twin turbo like Greg's Macan S, but it is a hot V, so it is not going to have any turbo lag, and it drives so well through these mountain roads. It's hard to believe that this is an SUV, guys. Alright, coming out of that 3-liter V6, it's producing 354 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. So it is a bit more powerful than Greg's Macan. It is also a little bit heavier, about 100 pounds or so heavier. So do you feel that? Well, I would say in acceleration, no. These are about dead even, 0 to 60 in quarter mile. Just depends on who's driving it and if they know how to operate the launch control.
Here we are in the Porsche Macan S, and this is just one of the most compelling small SUV options on the market today, and really is honestly a lot of fun to drive. I've had it for a couple of days now and just absolutely love driving it on these streets. It just has such great turn-in, a nice level chassis. It doesn't have any fancy air suspension or anything like that. We just have a fixed standard suspension, but it makes a lot of great power out of that 3-liter twin-turbo V6, about 340 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds, but that is when you use launch control. If you want to do like a bit of a rolling start from like 5 to 60, it's actually quite pedestrian with about 6 seconds. Oh, but it sounds good. She sounds really, really good. Definitely better than that Audi. I will add that it's got the 7-speed PDK, which is just an absolutely outstanding transmission. But in terms of the just
driving habits of these two vehicles, they're close. I'm not going to say that they're identical. I gotta give it to the Macan a little bit there. I think it leans more towards the sporty side. But man, this SQ5 does not embarrass itself at all. You do have a drive select mode where you can go from off-road, so with that air suspension, it'll raise it and lower it, giving you up to 9 inches of ground clearance, which is pretty impressive. Or you can hunker it down to the road, or you can create an individualized option, ranging from settings from your steering all the way to your suspension, a multitude of different facets here. Not something that's available on the Macan S. Macan S is riding just on traditional suspension. So if you're the type of person that wants lots of space that the Q5 offers, and you want the ability to occasionally tackle a mountain road, have some fun, then it's pretty hard to beat the SQ5. It also looks so great with all the brushed metal accents on the outside. It really sets itself apart from the lower Q5 models, and I think it does so with class.
The standard interior of this Macan S is actually really quite nice. It definitely looks a little bit more purposeful than what you find in Jordan's Audi SQ5. That one's got a lot more flair. This one is very Teutonic, very German, very focused. We've got the leatherette and Alcantara seats, which I think are perfect for this car. The seats hug you in all the right places, give you that nice lateral support. Passenger volume is about 96 cubic feet, so it's a little bit less than the Audi. Back seat is a tight place to be, so if you're trying to haul around 4 adults, they're going to be a little squished in the back, but frankly it's perfect for kids as long as they're not in a rear-facing car seat. Cargo volume is small. It's only 18 cubic feet, so yeah, we're not going to fare super well in the utility challenge, I'm afraid.
After getting to know our cars on roads like 226A between Little Switzerland and Asheville, we were ready to make our call on the first challenge, Sport.
In need of a cool refreshment, we found this small unknown brewery just south of Asheville to determine the first winner.
All right, so we've been driving around the beautiful mountainsides of North Carolina in our Porsche Macan and our Audi SQ5, and I think we've come to a similar conclusion about their capabilities for the S portion of SUV, and that stands for Sport.
Sport, that's right. So we've kind of wrapped up the Sport challenge, driving through the mountains, coming down from Little Switzerland. We find ourselves here at the beautiful Sierra Nevada Brewery, here just outside of Asheville, and it is just a wonderful day to be kicking back. We both have our Oktoberfest brews, so
That's
cheers.
Right. We'll be here a while.
We'll be here for a little bit, but we did want to talk about our cars for a little bit, because we've kind of already come to a conclusion at the first challenge, which is Sport.
That's right. So, I mean, clearly the two are based on the same chassis, got the same engine, but there are differences between the two.
Yep.
Specifically, the transmission.
Yes.
I think that the fantastic PDK in the Porsche is just impossible to beat.
Yep.
And when you're dealing with a slush box, no matter how good the slush box is in the Audi, it's still not going to be able to snap off those fast shifts, get off the line as quickly as the Porsche does. I think that's definitely one attribute that helps the Porsche.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ZF box that's in the Audi is one of the best. That ZF 8-speed is just literally the top of the pile when it comes to automatic transmissions, but the best of the best is literally the PDK.
Yes, it doesn't come better than that.
It does not get any better. The PDK just rips off those shifts. You get the burps on every upshift. You get the braps on the downshifts. I mean, it's just a lot of fun to drive.
It really is.
So the sporting component really goes to the Porsche because of its ride, its handling. I mean, it has just this immediacy of turn-in, and it really wants to rotate through turns as well, which is a lot of fun.
It does. It's really balanced on its feet, and like you said, the steering input's fantastic on it. It gives you a nice amount of feedback for an SUV, honestly. And it is compromised for an SUV, but it's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Porsche definitely took a lot of liberties with the design, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
for sure.
You know, they cut off the back end of it basically, so you've got a lot more utility in the SQ5 versus what you've got in the Macan. So you've got a little bit of a cut off there.
Yes. I would say between the two, I mean, obviously the Porsche is better in terms of performance. The Audi does not embarrass itself, though. And considering, I would say that it does ride a bit better, especially with that air suspension. For your day-to-day, you know, if you're using this as a daily driver and you just want the occasional performance bit, I think the Audi might be a more comfortable choice, especially with the fact that it clearly fits more things, just based off the shape.
Yep.
But we have yet to determine that in terms of how much stuff, so we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we're going to figure that out when we get to the utility phase.
Yeah.
But if you just look at the numbers, I mean, the Porsche's definitely got an upward climb there.
Yeah, it's a smaller, nimbler brother, right?
Yes,
And but man, if you're looking for performance SUV, it doesn't really get better than that.
It doesn't get better, but I mean, the Audi is a wonderful, wonderful Grand Tour. If you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit more towards the Grand Touring bent, a little bit more daily utility, the Audi's going to be a great choice. And to your point, it doesn't embarrass itself from a performance standpoint. It's just as fast as the Porsche in a straight line.
Absolutely.
Roughly. Like it's only a tick or two behind.
That's right. And that launch control on the Audi is fantastic. It does a great job, even though it doesn't have that PDK.
That's right.
It's able to put the power down.
All right, well, that kind of concludes the sport part of our challenge where the Porsche has come out on top. So our next portion is going to be utility, where we see which one can fit more stuff.
With the Porsche nabbing a quick advantage in the Sport Challenge, we jumped on what is now one of our favorite sections of Parkway and absolutely behaved ourselves going through all the tunnels.
After wearing out our welcome, we found a great pullout for my favorite challenge, utility. As the resident van guy, I need a car that can haul more than, well, you know.
All right, here we are. We are going to do our second challenge now. This is, of course, the utility challenge. And so we wanted to see how useful each of these sporty little SUVs are. And so we decided to go ahead and stop off and get a bunch of balloons and see how well they fit in the back of these SUVs. Since you have the balloons, why don't you go first?
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's see if we can make it fit.
All right. We've not done this yet, so fair warning. This is the first time.
We have no idea what to expect. I'm going to raise this up a little bit.
There we go.
I think the previous owner had it a little bit lower. All right, let's see. Can I bring my balloons to the birthday party without popping anyone? You stay down. Stay down. All right.
Oh, they're gonna pop.
Nailed it.
Oh gosh.
And good luck in that Porsche.
Yeah, I mean, just attach your cans to it, you know, for your wedding.
All right.
Oh god.
Look, one popped in there while I was waiting. So
So I
made it even easier for you.
One less. All right. Here we go. In the smaller, sportier SUV here.
See what you can do. I gave you a handicap, but you lost the balloon.
And we did say that the loser of this challenge has to drive around with the balloon in their car
For the rest of the time.
Here we go.
Oh, you might make it. Get me close. Oh, I like the strategy there. Tuck them in. No, it's got to close on its own.
We just need to crinkle, push, crumple, and crunch. That's a result. They're in.
I think we could definitely say that this has more cargo space.
Fair, it does. How many cubic feet?
We got 24 and a half here.
Yeah, this is like not even close to that many. I think it's like 18. So, needless to say, the Audi wins
The space challenge.
The space challenge.
Definitely more utilitarian for sure.
a little bit more. So, so it goes.
Enjoy your balloon ride.
I will. can't see anything besides forwards. But we got another. Oh.
After enjoying just a fraction of the beautiful sights in western North Carolina, it was time for our final challenge, vehicle.
One of the most important attributes of a vehicle is its ride quality, so we chose to do a little suspension test. With the score tied at 1-1, my Porsche's sporty suspension wasn't giving me a lot of confidence.
Alright guys, we have stopped off for our final challenge. We have found this beautiful gravel parking lot to test our vehicle challenge. And so the vehicle challenge is going to be ride comfort. And so we are going to stack up cups full of water on a tray on each of our laps and go ahead and drive around this gravelly parking lot to see whose suspension handles it better.
I've got the water.
Oh God. All right, here we are. Jordan has the tray of water on his lap.
All right, let's make sure this is in the right mode. I feel like all-road mode would be a good one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I got air suspension. I should be fine. I know I'm riding on rubber bands, but
yeah. All right, so the goal is to try to keep it between 10 and 15 miles an hour, not go 50, Mr. Rally.
All right.
All right, so
Got it.
here we go.
Boy. Oh God!
This
Too
is
much
only
torque.
9. Only 9. This is only 9. Oh, and here's the turn. Yep. Oh, 12, 14, 14, 15. Officially 15. I got a brake for the last turn.
No.
Here we go.
Oh God!
And stop. They're pretty good. Like, that's actually not bad. They kind of slid around a little bit, but yeah. Could be a lot worse.
Not bad.
All right, let's see how the Porsche does.
How confident are you that the Porsche is going to do well here?
It's actually got a decent suspension for something fixed. It doesn't have the fancy air suspension. We are going to hit off-road mode as well.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't think it makes a lick of difference, but
why not?
might as well take off the parking brake.
I mean, I don't know. Porsche versus Audi Rally Heritage. Rally's got it.
I mean, we do have a little car called the 911 Dakar.
You ready?
Parking brake.
Oh, okay. That's important.
It is important.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Between, you said 20 and 30, right?
Nope. Between 5 and 5. That's too fast. Slower.
What do you mean? This is 9.
This is 9.
Oh no, don't lift it off your lap. Wow, cheating.
That was not a roll. That's too fast.
What do you mean? That's 13.
13. You're taking the turns at 13.
You better put that back on your lap,
It is
sir.
on my lap.
It's not.
It is touching.
15.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Don't hit your car.
I don't think I did a full lap though.
What?
There we go.
Whoa!
All right.
I think that is winner chicken dinner for the Porsche.
What a cheater.
That's not cheater. What? Why are you so angry? Are you just mad because you lost? Look at the difference. I'm not going to throw it at you. Easy, you big guy.
You're cheating.
You look at this a lot less. I've got about an inch less water.
An inch.
Inch less water.
I think we didn't deliver inches.
Okay, about 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, Gregory, you were holding it above your lap, man.
We
Don't
didn't
even
say
go
what
there.
you had to do with the tray. We just said you had to hold a tray as we drive around between 10 and 15 miles per hour. And that's exactly what I did. And my pants are clearly wet.
Yeah,
So I definitely lost some water. I just didn't lose as much as you in your fancy all-road suspension.
What we learned today is that tires are really important.
They are. Look at the sidewall on this Porsche. That makes a big difference. That actually overcame your all-road suspension, which is really surprising. Plus my cheating,
Yeah.
which is debatable. Needless to say, Porsche 2, Audi 1.
Fair enough.
With our challenges complete and the Porsche taking a decisive victory, work was out of the way and it was time for a little fun. We jumped back in our SUVs and headed south for the Bavarian-inspired town of Helene, Georgia.
Yeah, decisive. Certainly no cheating or anything. Anyway, We bombed south on some of the greatest back roads in the high country, enjoying the beautiful scenery of this amazing country in our fantastic cars.
And then we got to Helene in an absolute crush of traffic. It took us at least 30 minutes to get from one side of town to the other.
Clearly, we weren't the only ones who had the clever idea of celebrating Octoberfest on a warm fall day. Undeterred, we parked the cars at our cabin and off we went.
All right, everyone, made it to Helene. Stop one, having a Polliner. Roast.
So a fun night of debauchery.
That's right. Yes.
No, we're very mild.
We'll see.
The town of Helene feels lifted out of a storybook. It's a truly marvelous place with live music, plenty of shops, and maybe a place or two to get a pint.
We only saw that stuff on our way to the pub, and the lively, friendly crowds made the environment feel properly like Octoberfest. But things didn't get properly rowdy until we found the fest hall.
Happy Octoberfest.
Happy Octoberfest from us in the driver's line. Prost.
Alrighty, so we have just wrapped up several days of testing these two fantastic SUVs. Greg in the Porsche Macan S and myself in the Audi SQ5, and we've come with some conclusions today.
Yeah, because I mean, we went through the 3 different tests. We did sport, utility, and vehicle. Surprisingly, the Porsche came out on top in 2 of those, whereas the SQ5 only came out on top in utility, since it actually has quite a few more cubic feet in the cargo area than the Porsche does.
It does, yeah. If you're looking for something that's fun but super utilitarian, this is definitely your pick. You got the seat that moves, you got a little bit more legroom in the back, you got a more squared off trunk. Macan definitely emphasizes sport without a doubt.
It definitely really focuses on the sport. It's just really kind of like driving like a lifted hot hatch. It just wants to rotate when it goes through the turns. There's a lot of fun to have behind the wheel in this Macan.
I also have to give Porsche credit for the engineering that went behind it. I mean, this is a base model for the year. We're talking about steel suspension. There's no fancy gimmicks like you got in the Audi.
That's right.
Audi relies heavily on technology. And when you're driving that Porsche, the steering feedback is fantastic. The ride is basically the same as this when you're driving on these back roads.
Which is really surprising considering the height of these tires. These are a huge sidewall on these tires, which kind of works as part of the suspension. And I think part of the reason we won the vehicle challenge.
Perhaps. Sitting inside of them, I mean, they're both fantastic. I mean, they're very different. The Porsche is way more driver focused. The Audi, a lot more tech focused.
Yeah, it's very tech forward in the Audi. And, you know, the Porsche is really kind of, when we both hopped into it the first time, we're like, wow, this thing is just completely focused. It has one purpose, and that purpose is to go fast. The seats are great. They grip you. It's got the leatherette and Alcantara interior, which was actually standard for the year, and I would not see a need to upgrade personally.
Absolutely, for sure. So, I mean, I think we kind of agree, based on the test results that we came through, the Porsche did sneak out a win here. Would you take that one? Or the Audi? What do you think?
That's the $1 million question, right? Well, the $35,000 question is, if you wanted a car in your life between these two, which one would it be? And I would actually take the Audi.
Me too. Actually, yeah. So even though the Porsche won, I just think that, you know, with the Audi, you are getting about 80% of that performance, 90% of that performance compared to the S.
Yep.
We do still have the turbo, but that's going to cost you a pretty penny above.
Right, and see, that's kind of one of the things we started discussing in the course of looking at these cars is this is the top of the line Audi.
Right.
Like, does not get any higher than the SQ5, whereas you've got the turbo and both the GTS sitting on top of this guy. So it's kind of missing some of the stuff that you really like as a nicety, but I think the Audi looks better.
Yeah, it looks better. It's a kind of more balanced package overall.
It is. It's a better Grand
if you have
Tourer.
more than one person in your family.
Absolutely. It's a better Grand Tourer.
Yes.
It has the great looks. It's got a little bit of comfort, but it's also got that utility. So it's got a lot of what you're looking for, and it's every bit as fast as Porsche's in a straight line.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely take the Audi.
Yeah.
Well, on that fantastic revelation, we hope you enjoyed our back-to-back test drive where the loser won.
That's right. Go figure. Thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on The Driver's Line.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a thing.
I've gotta tell you, I've been racking my brain. I have to find a way out. I've had enough of this continual rain. A change is coming, no doubt. It's been a too long time with no peace of mind, and I'm ready for the times to get better. A long, lonely time with no peace of mind, and I'm ready for the times to get better.